Hey there, how you doing?
What's going on, everybody?
Not
We
much.
got it.
It's Tuesday
So,
night. We're on Cryptid Nation, and we got a good show. I'm excited, and 3 days away from the powwow. Yeah, baby.
that's a big one. 3 days from the powwow, and even though it may rain at the powwow, everything is undercover. So it's rain or shine. It used to be out there at the Haygood Mill in Pickens, South Carolina. We would have a situation where if it rained, everybody just got wet, and that was it. But now it's all enclosed. We don't have to worry about that.
Oh,
So,
so we don't
you
have
know, it's
to I still bring the sides for the tent just in case, or
yeah. We'll bring our stuff. That way we can spread out and enjoy ourselves. But for the most part, we're not going to have any trouble. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Casey.
good.
So we got a special thing happening tonight for me, especially because my crazy skunk ape experience happened in Florida.
Hmm.
And Jesse Johnson of FL Squatchin is here tonight, and he's had a lot of Bigfoot experiences in Florida. And I've got some pictures to share with you guys. So let's welcome Jesse, father, and Bigfoot extraordinaire. Hey, Jesse.
What's going on, Jess?
How's it going?
So
Hey,
you've
dude,
got
thank
three
you.
babies, right?
3 babies. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh
So
yeah.
do you take them with you whenever you go? No.
My oldest boy, he used to go until he found video games.
Yeah,
As it
yeah.
happens,
That
poor
was
kid
it.
turned into an idiot, huh?
Nah, he did have a couple experiences with me that he didn't like them.
Yeah, I'm
He didn't
sure.
like. He typically don't pay attention when he used to go with me. He didn't. He's just out there kind of throwing sticks and hitting stuff, and he was banging on the trees one time, and I was just messing with him. I said, "You gonna call Bigfoot over here?" He's like, "Yeah, right." So we're walking down the trail, and he said he saw something come across the trail back behind us that was. He said it looked like a bear, but I've never ever seen a bear. And we went back to where he was talking about, and there was nothing on the trail, like any tracks or anything, but he freaked him out.
I bet.
I bet it
Yeah.
did.
Freaked him out.
I know when I saw mine under a tree stand, it freaked me out. I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah,
I
that
think
probably
I'm
freaked me
weird.
too. Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It freaked me out.
I think I'm weird because I was actually on an animal compound for it was a my dad was a mammologist and herpetologist, so we were with Ross Allen's Reptile Institute. I don't know if you're old enough to remember that,
I,
but so we were there, and there was a big showing about, oh, skunk apes are here. We got to take care of them. The Seminoles were talking about it, and so I had the experience.
okay.
So I was thinking, oh, I got to talk to you because mine was a juvenile, and I've still got the fantasy delusion that I could have just gotten out of the camper and gone played with this thing, and everything would have been fine. I probably would not be here, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah, you wouldn't have got
So,
the name Chaka.
yeah, land of the lost. Oh my gosh. So, how long have you been squatch hunting?
I started about a year before my son was born, so I've been actively researching for, I would say, a good 10, 11 years now. But
Right on.
I've been into it for a long time. Growing up in Okeechobee, there's nothing but swamp and cow pastures. There ain't nothing there to do but be in the woods. And living around ranchers and stuff like that, we got to hear some pretty crazy stuff, which always piqued my interest. And then I was probably I'd say about 7 years old, and we had close to 400 or 500 acres out on the outskirts of Okeechobee, and we had a pond on the back fence of our very back pasture. There was this pond that we had that would always dry up during the summertime. And we went out there, and we'd go out there and get in the pond and catch the snakes and stuff like that. And we went out there, and there was a set of tracks going through the side of the pond to where, like, when we stepped in, it would sink up to our knees. But there was the tracks, perfect tracks going right through the side of the pond. And my dad, he ended up filming that, but all that went down in a house fire.
Oh, crap, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, when I actually got into it, I was talking to my brother about it, and he was like, my dad filmed that. And I was like, did he really? So we was able to find like some other tapes and stuff that he recorded on, but the majority of them kind of went.
Oh, hate to hear that, man.
Yeah, but I found plenty of more tracks to make up for that. So
right on.
Yeah.
Do you ever sell your tracks?
Sell them? No. I've had people like ask me if I would. I don't think I would, honestly, just because they're kind of, to me, and they're like trophies for my research.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Because a
Absolutely.
lot of people will take home like they'll do gifting and stuff like that, and or they'll find things that they say are left behind for them, and I don't take those things. I don't know why. I just get a weird feeling about taking those things. But tracks, I feel is a different story for me. So that's kind of like, yeah, like I said, like my trophy of doing my research out there. Because a lot of the areas I go into, like, there's just, you get very high energy. So some things I just leave it alone. If I see it, I won't even touch most of it, because I've already made my mistake doing that a couple of times, where I found stuff and, ooh, what is this? And touch it, and then the next time I come in there, it's completely gone.
Oh yeah.
Like they got mad that I came over there and messed with it.
From the scent, leaving your scent on it.
Yep, and I told that we stink to them.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
So for those of you watching, this might be interesting. This is a map near where Jesse lives. There's Okeechobee, and notice that it's right at the top of a very large body of water, in between two very large shorelines. Okay, so it's all the way around the state and right in the middle. And that's a big body of water. So where there's water, there's a food source. You know, there's fresh water. That's fresh water. It's not salt, is it?
No, it's fresh water.
I thought so.
Water, like salt water, does mix in some part of the lakes.
Yeah.
Of the lake.
Is that clear water? I mean, I've seen some of the most beautiful clear water in Florida. Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure there is clear water around that lake, but it's dark. Where I grew up, it was dark. If you jumped in it, few inches of water you're not seeing.
Not gonna see the bottom. Okay. Well, I grew up at Silver Springs, and you could see all the way to the bottom. And you know, I was swimming over the top of alligators down there. So, you know,
that's why I feel crazy now compared to where I'm living at now. The water's a little bit more clear, unless you get more up into the fresh water. But doing all the crazy swimming in ponds and canals and lakes like that growing up, I'm like, what was I doing? I couldn't even see my feet, and I'm just...
You're being a kid.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm like you, Jesse. If it was a body of water, I was going in it.
Yeah.
It was a pond.
Didn't even check for an alligator. Just taboo.
Just go.
There's a gator.
I used to
go away.
Oh, dude. I grew up, part of my time I grew up in Louisiana. So, dude, alligators were everywhere. So we used to go swimming in the bayous with the gators. Never got bit. But I could have.
Yeah.
Blaine, that shirt is perfect tonight. Blaine, you're looking
my Bigfoot shirt?
You're looking rad. That was a gift. Yeah, somebody said that to you. That's so
one
funny.
of the co-hosts sent it to me. I was like, cool.
Hey,
dude, if you see us waving, you know, we're Southern like you. So instead of interrupting you, you'll see us wave and people pop up and say hi. So
Yeah, I
don't
see
think nothing
that.
twice of it, man.
Yeah, I see them coming up
Yeah,
here.
it's all about, hey, y'all, and, back yonder, and
Yes, ma'am.
what you
How's your mom?
doing?
How's your mom or them? And did you
Yeah,
eat yet? And all that fun stuff. I crack grin
I'm
up
all
every
about
time I say that. Did you eat yet?
Did you eat yet?
it.
Wait, you not
Did
did it
you?
right. So you eat yet? No, it's not. I can't get it right. I'm country, but I can't quite get that one right. Yeah.
That's funny.
So, I went and snagged some of your. They are big puppy dogs
No,
with a
they're not.
lot of teeth, and a big old
You.
tail. Oh my goodness. So I went on your page and I watched some of your YouTube videos too. Um, so I got this picture. What, let me take the banner down so that people can see it just a little bit better. What kind of device is that? Are you using one of those, is that a night vision thing that
No,
you,
so
binoculars?
this is taken because I record everything from my phone because camcorders, all that stuff gets expensive. And a lot of the areas that I go into, they don't trust you if you have a bunch of stuff in your hand or anything like that. They'll keep their
Yeah,
distance from you. And
yeah.
this
Well,
typically,
telephones now are better than some of the bigger
yes.
bigger
That's
cameras,
true.
Yeah.
bigger tele. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, like iPhone, iPad, when I get into certain areas where like the groups they're all in one area, you'll get a high like frequency level, which will distort like your cameras and stuff like that, and sometimes even drain them dead.
Yeah.
Almost like what people say with the paranormal,
Really?
it'll
Yep.
drain the battery power. So sometimes that'll happen, but when I use my phone or an iPad or something like that, it's very rare that I have anything like happen to the device.
Sounds like they're
Yeah,
getting
what?
more comfortable with you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really. Some of the groups are. I've been researching a couple of groups now. I've been staying on them quite a bit. So they will come in the area and sound off when I come into certain areas. You'll hear them almost right off the rip. You'll hear them either take off running from the trail or they'll whistle to each other, and it's pretty
Have you
awesome.
heard the whop? The whop they do? The whop sound that they make?
Yeah, it's like a whoop almost. Yeah, I've
Uh-huh.
heard that a couple times. I haven't heard it too many times, but every time that I've heard that, it's not. I know it's not like a natural.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not a
Yeah,
natural.
they're
Majority of
crazy
the
sounding.
areas that I go into, I kind of catch them off guard, really, because I guess I find like so basically I'll find an area of interest on Google Maps, and all my places of interest are around bodies of water, flag ponds, creeks, and a lot of times there's no hiking trails or anything to get to them. So I just take off into the woods. I just take off and find my own trail. And then eventually when I get into these areas, you'll come across paths that look like hiking trails, but they're not. And then that's when I'll be finding little tree structures here and there. And then as soon as I start finding sign of them, I'll just start filming around me. And people don't even realize how close they are until after they review their footage. And it was kind of just like that picture you just showed. I found it looked like a teepee structure to me. It was the first time I ever seen a teepee. And
Yeah.
after I took the picture of the teepee, which was crazy because I went over there and was touching on everything like that because I was fascinated with it. And then the next time I came in there, like I said before, they took it apart. And
Yeah.
when I went into the backside of have more pictures to that to where like the teepee and stuff, but there was at least 5 or 6 individuals that were back behind that teepee structure at the time that I was filming it. Had no clue that they were even there until after I reviewed everything.
Wow.
And when I went in there at the second time after I reviewed all the footage before, I was like, they're all right there. And that's all like thick, real thick brush and everything back behind that. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to see where they were going and how they're traveling through there, if there's any trails or anything like that. And right back behind it, it's like a berm that drops down almost like 7 feet. And so when you're standing at the top of that berm, that's the only time you'll be able to see me or anybody else. And as soon as you get back behind it, you can stay behind it for at least a good 50, 60 yards without even being seen or heard by anybody on the other side of that berm.
Oh, wow.
And
so here, I think this is one of the pictures you're talking about there.
Yeah,
in
that
the brush.
Recently. And that's
cool. Well, that's very obvious to me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that was kind of that moment right there was a kind of a dumb situation. I made a mistake doing that one. Because basically I had never really been in this area. I've only been in there like once or twice. And I literally just went straight in. I didn't take my time getting in or whatever, let the group get used to me. I just went straight in. And in the video, when I was filming that, I had no idea like that they were just right there in front of me. And he was sitting right in plain view, as you could see right there, and he didn't care. He wasn't trying to hide or nothing. Right. In the video, he actually shows his teeth at me. Like he curls his lip up.
Oh, God.
Wow.
I didn't notice that until after. Well, it's a lot of the times you don't notice anything until after you review everything. And when I saw that, I was like, man, if I just decided to trump just a few more feet, it probably would have not have been good. Because
that would have been a bad day for you.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was just to the right of him, right of that one, there was a bigger individual with a smaller one right in front of it.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was.
Let's look at it one more time.
Like that previous picture. So like that one right there, like you see how like their skin has got like that gray tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that previous picture you showed how it looked green.
Right.
So that's basically how they stay hidden from us. Is like their skin color, they know exactly where to sit in the sunlight to where all the foliage and brush around them will reflect off of them.
Oh, that's cool.
And it took me a long time to figure that out, but I've learned from a couple good resources that I trusted over the years, and they never steered me in the wrong direction. And they were always getting on to me because I would show them something and they're like, you're missing so much. You don't even know it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you even talking about? And I had no idea that I was filming part of these groups because of how well they camouflage themselves. And also like their hair color too. A lot of them, like you'll see that they have like the black hair and stuff like that. But a lot of them, they have it's like a mixed colored hair. Like it's clear hair, like a polar bear, and black hair. And that's a lot of the times where you'll see them and they reflect green, even when they're like in plain sight.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
This one here would look like if I didn't dye it. So
let's look again. Okay, we got this one. And see, he looks green.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
but then here we are here.
Yeah. And
I picked those.
So I'm not 100% sure on this, but I feel like they can, I don't know how to say that without sounding crazy. I feel like they can regulate that in a way.
They can.
I think you're right.
I've had other researchers tell me the same thing, that they can change their frequency so your eyes don't adjust to what they might never have changed physically.
Exactly.
But
Yep.
the energy they're putting off distracts your eyes because your eyes can't handle it and your brain can't handle it. They know that.
That makes
Most
sense. I
definitely.
mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've
Let
heard a
me
lot
ask
of
you
people.
this.
I've heard a lot of the term kind of thrown around. It's like forbidden color spectrum or
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah.
To where, and I've caught it on film a couple times with the adult Sasquatch other groups. They give off a very, very high frequency.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen, like, I've been told when by people that I've showed the film to that I've trusted, they said when the color changes, it'll go from like a brown, gray, green to almost a purple.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that it will change with the sunlight.
Yes.
And that's why the cameras don't pick them up a lot of times. That's why thermals, I've even had it on thermals to where you could see them, but there's no heat signature.
So
And
that's
honestly,
badass.
that's because of the frequency levels that they're putting off. And the bigger they are, the higher the frequency level it is that they put off.
Now, Jesse, another investigator told me, he says the reason they do their tree structures is the limit of their what they call phasing, what they consider the energy out. That's why they're not territorial markers. That's their boundary, how far their energy will go.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I've had
I
like
thought that was interesting too.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. I've heard a lot of theories on their structures, and there's a lot of structures that I've came across that's just.
Oh, I got one.
Like
I got one of the
I
pictures.
don't know exactly
How this happened. Yeah.
Yeah, like for instance, it was like a day or two ago that I went out after work, and I'll send you guys the picture or whatever afterwards. But it was two pines, like saplings. They were probably a good maybe 8-9 feet tall, but they were almost braided together.
Oh wow!
Interesting.
Oh wow!
And that was the
here's
only
one that you got.
Old path, like that one right there. That was pretty crazy. So that happened while I was sitting in the trail waiting for cast to dry.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that freaked me out. I was actually on the phone with a guy that I researched with because we had in that same area, we had just found a trackway of 3 individuals probably about a month prior in that same area. And I was out there just on a limb just to go for a walk, and I seen they have the tractors out there doing the fire grades.
Right. And I saw the pictures you posted about that.
Yeah.
About the tractor.
Yeah. So the fire grade that I found the tracks in, they did, I think it looked to be like a day or two old. And every time I go out there at some point after they do that grade, I'll find tracks in it. So I just went out there on a limb just to walk around. And as soon as I got on that grade, there's these tracks coming right onto the trail out of this ditch that goes down to a water source. And I was looking, I was like, there ain't no way. I just got here. And
this
so
is it, right? Is that one?
Bit.
Holy crap!
Oh, so
what size shoe do you wear?
So that right there is the guy, one of the guys that I go and do research with, and he wears a size 13, I believe.
Oh, Blaine, that's bigger than your foot. Look at that thing.
I got a size 13.
Yes.
It swallows his foot like 2 of them. So that's roughly estimated like 25 to 26 inches long.
So I have a cast. It's the biggest one I have right now. I have pictures and video of a footprint actually a couple of footprints I just found from one of like the alpha males of the group. But the biggest cast that I have is 23 inches.
That's still pretty big, dude. You
Oh
got
my
to
God.
that's
It's
the
a big
same
track.
size shoe as Shaq O'Neal.
But the two tracks that I found, I would say it was probably close to about a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago. But those tracks were 31 inches long.
Oh, wow.
12 inches across the ball of the foot, and 9 inches
Holy
across the heel.
crap. That's huge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Imagine the weight of that damn thing.
Well, this is like I've caught them on film in that area. A couple I've got that are close to like the 15-foot range.
Good God.
It's
Holy
people
crap.
think
That's a huge bitch.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's I got them on film a couple times in certain areas, but I put it off. I didn't even bother even believing that's what I was looking at, because I didn't think that they got that big. Because I've seen photos of them up, from up north, and I think that they're bigger than the ones in Florida, and they're pretty massive
Really?
up there. And then the guy that it only took him 5 minutes to show me how to find the areas that I'm finding these groups in, because it's really simple. A lot of people think it would be very hard to, but it's very simple. You just got to be crazy enough to go in where they are.
Yeah.
But I've gotten them around the area close to around like the 15-foot range, and the guy that he's got videos he's got one. If I didn't trust him, I would have thought it was made up. But he gets incredible footage, and he's the one that's got me actually into researching. And he's got one that's around 20 feet.
Oh.
And that's over on the other coast. And what is that place?
That's a lot. Holy.
The WMA somewhere down on the other. I want to say it's by like Homestead, like West Palm Beach, all that, somewhere down around there. He's got some crazy stuff, and it didn't even dawn on me that I was filming these things, because I didn't think that I was. I mean, I got him close to around 11 feet, and I was catching all the rest of this stuff that was way above that, and massive heads the size of 50-gallon trash can, just
Holy
huge.
crap.
And you're not even realizing that that's what you're looking at. But he was telling me, he goes, you're in a crazy area. Do not go in there. Don't go in there.
Wow.
Jesse, have you ever had any tracks of a 6-toed Bigfoot?
No.
Because my buddy up in Pennsylvania, all the ones he's got up there, because they're huge, he said he's got probably 30 different sets of tracks, and all of them are 6-toed. Every one of them.
Wow.
6. Okay.
Oh, check this out.
And the reason he told me that, it makes sense, because of the weight and the height of them, they need that extra toe for balance and walking.
Yeah.
If they only had 5 toes, they would probably just trip over the first stump they hit and be on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the big track that I found from one of the alphas that was around 31 inches, I think that one had 5, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that one did.
This could be because there's the northern ones, and what my buddy told me, he says the reason you get smaller ones further south is because they're not as purebred as the other ones up north are.
And that's I agree with that, honestly, because the groups that I've filmed and got on photo and stuff like that, I've noticed I've got at least 5 different kinds. I got some that look just like a person.
Yes, the one I saw had a human face.
Yeah, they look just like people, and then you have ones that look primate-ish, and then I've caught some that look just like pure monsters.
Oh wow!
They look like just a pure would scare the hell out of you if you was to actually see it in person. Probably never go back to the woods. And
Yeah.
then I've gotten some that look like a gargoyle. I don't know, like a
Oh shit!
yeah,
Okay,
pointed
here's a picture.
pointed nose, and their
Let's see
ears
if
are
this
kind
is
of.
it.
What happened?
Look.
Oh damn!
Okay, so yeah, see the size of the human
Yeah.
and a Sasquatch and a bear, and then there's that thing as a comparison. Oh my Lord, that's scary. And also this, Bigfoot in the forest, understanding Sasquatch unseen spectrums of light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the camouflage.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've got you a six-toed plane.
There we go.
Oh man.
That's a good track right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Hey, I
is.
wonder if the 2 big toes are webbed. You see that? What I'm saying?
I almost wonder if they're down the
You gotta-
slope, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. That might help them balance. I mean, look at that, the way it is up there. It looks kind of webbed.
It
Yeah.
really does.
That's my opinion, though. That's
No,
what I
you're
said.
correct on that. I just looked at that. You're correct on that.
It looks
That's
a little
pretty-
bit.
that's
It may
pretty-
not be webbed like we're used to. Maybe different somehow. I don't know.
That thing.
That's a darn track. That's a good one.
Check this one out. Come on. There it is.
That's
That's
the 2
Jesse.
that was, casting when I had that structure or that little whatever that was put in the trail. I was sitting there. That was pretty wild.
Now, Gwen, that looks webbed too.
It
Look.
does.
Those
It
are
does a
2
little
different
bit.
individuals right there. The one on the right is the larger individual, the one that
Right.
I found the track way from. But where his pinky toe is, between his pinky toe and the toe next to it, it almost looks like he had like a severe injury on his foot, because where the ball of the foot is, it looks like the gap between the toes goes all the way down onto the ball of the foot.
Sure does.
Okay,
Like he
now
had some
Christy
type of.
brought up something interesting. She said maybe they're webbed feet for swimming. Now that would make sense too.
So I've
And
heard,
you know-
underwater.
I've
Yeah.
heard
Yeah.
that quite a bit.
If they're actually mammals, they can swim because every mammal can swim.
Mhm.
I've heard
Except
that.
for Frenchies.
but
Frenchies can't swim.
And I've
Well, if they
actually
live near
I've
the
gotten
water,
in the water a
Yeah,
lot.
that would make sense even more. Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that they'll go in the water to catch fish and crawfish and snakes and whatever they can get a hold of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they can stay underwater for a long time.
Holy crap!
For a
Really?
long
Imagine
time.
being-
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine being at the shore and when then things come up? No, thank you. That's okay.
No, thank you. No.
Not by myself.
I don't need this in your draws.
Yeah.
Here's another one of his casts. Look at the size of that thing.
So yeah, that one right there was actually, that was one of the casts that I took from when you seen the guy that I go with, and he had his foot next to that print on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the casts I pulled out of the trail that day. The one that's just in the picture up to the left,
Mhm.
that right there was a juvenile track. That one right there was
Yeah.
probably only 7 inches long.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that was this day.
Yeah.
Yep. That was the same day that I took
So that-
made that.
Was that the
cast,
same
yeah.
print? Was it
No.
that same print? Oh, okay.
No, so there was actually 4 sets of tracks on that trail. One of the set of tracks could have been another hiker or something like that coming in, because some of the tracks were
Mhm.
questionable. But the other
Okay.
3 prints that we found in there, they definitely had definition and toes on them. But we did have a good rain the night before, so some of the tracks did get kind of,
Deleted.
yeah,
Not really.
Right.
just like
sucks.
that one that he had his foot next to.
Oh, we looked at that one already. Okay, I've got this one here. Now we looked at that first.
We've
I think
already
I had
seen.
two
Yeah,
shots. I had two shots of that one. So,
yeah,
could
that's
you
the same.
explain this for me?
So
Speed-based
basically,
invisibility.
this is what that. The higher the frequency is, like after the big ones, that's where, like a lot of people, when you take a picture of them and they look very blurry, and a lot of people, they'll call it a blob squatch. It's
Mm-hmm.
because of the frequency level that they're putting off. Their cameras are only like, they're made to basically see like human sight, pretty much.
Yeah.
And we could see, as people, we could see like 0.5% of light. So when you have these high frequencies putting off to us, that's why it comes out like a blob squatch.
Nice.
So that's what it means. Basically, the higher the frequency level, the more harder it's going to be for you to be able to detect it when it's standing. Even if it's standing in front of you within a few yards, the frequency level, it's almost like cloaking, what people say.
Yeah,
Cloaking.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The higher the frequency level that they have, the more invisible they can seem to become. I guess
Jesse,
that makes.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Jesse, have you ever used a full spectrum camera to see what that picks up on? Because that picks up all kind of frequency waves.
So I don't have one personally. I did have a guy come out with me a few years ago that had one, and I don't know just because it was the quality of it or what, but we did pick up on some things that were very odd, but nothing that was intriguing to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people that use it though, and they seem to get pretty good results. But
yeah, we use them in the paranormal field too, and they get great results out of them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
So
I did.
have you seen a,
What was that?
excuse me, Jesse, go ahead. Go ahead.
It did bring an EMF detector out one time. I lost that in the middle of the trail. Don't know where.
Uh-oh.
But I did
Oh,
bring an EMF detector out a couple times, and both times I brought it out, it threw the roof. As soon as I get into the certain areas, it just pegged that thing.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
Well,
crazy
that's showing.
what happens when the groups are around. Like, for instance, I just recently posted a couple videos. One was it sounded to me like a roar. And then the next video was of a knock that was very close to me. But when it did, you hear the knock, like right after it, you hear almost like somebody waved their hand in front of my phone real quick in front of the speaker. And it was like the sound wave from the knock hit my phone. I didn't hear it like with my own ears, but when I watch the footage, you hear the knock, and as soon as it happens, the screen gets distorted, and you hear like a whoop sound.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's cool as all get up, man.
That's the first time I've ever had that happen to me. I've had like knocks very close to me before, but that was the first time that I've seen that. In that area, it kind of, I don't know, after going in that area, it affected me a little bit for like a few days. It was just pure bad luck out of nowhere.
Oh
Let me ask
my.
you this, Jesse. If you actually heard a clicking noise before.
Oh yes.
Okay, what my buddy explained to me on that is what they're doing. They're dogmen and making the clicking noise, but the frequency, it's just that's the part you hear of it. What they're doing is they're sending a signal out to you to see if you're friend or prey.
Right. Now I've heard that as well. I've heard that as well, and I've actually I wouldn't say I've heard dogman noise, but I've heard noises amongst the groups when they're in the areas that are not what I'm used to hearing when it comes to Sasquatch noises. And I didn't get into any areas or even start even recognizing dogman until, for instance, like the area I was just talking about with the knock and the sound wave hit the phone. I didn't really experience them until that area. And I caught them actually on film a few times in that area. But every single time I've been in there, I've heard like that clicking sound. I've heard it's almost like a moaning, like a moaning sound that I've never heard the Sasquatch do that before. But in that area, I've heard sounds like that, and it ain't normal to me. And you could definitely tell that it's not like any other animal in the area or anything like that, but it's very hard to explain, honestly. You would just have to hear it in order to understand really what I'm talking about. But it's more along the lines of like a moaning sound. It's weird.
Wow.
But I've in the areas where I've heard those type of sounds, I've found tracks that I've been told that could be dogman tracks on three-toed tracks.
Oh, wow. Have you ever
Let me show you
casted
this
a
track.
I haven't casted the three-toed tracks yet, just because I've only found them maybe like four or five times now, maybe.
Okay.
And each time that I found them, they were very iffy.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? If you were to like take a photo of them, it would just look like something in the dirt.
Gotcha.
You know, it wouldn't look normal. But I've tried to cast. I tried to cast one set that I found, but when I was pouring the cast, I guess one part of the print in the trail wasn't deep enough. So I went to pull out of the ground. One of the toes, it was too thin, and it broke off the corner of it. But
Christy's saying maybe that sound maybe between like a banshee and a moan type thing.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre sound, but it's like a moaning sound of some sort.
Gotcha.
Christy loves you. She said, I love this bloke.
I love this bloke. He's from Australia.
He's our favorite fan from Australia. She comes to every show
Yeah.
our network
That's
does.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We
She
will not
misses
be able to
a
do the
couple
shows
here.
without her every now and then. Hey, I got some more pictures from Jesse's work here. Now imagine being out in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden you go along and that's stuck up.
So
Excuse me.
this was my first time actually trying gifting.
Okay.
Oh,
Because I was a big, I wouldn't say skeptic on gifting and stuff like that, because I've seen tons of evidence of gifting. And I've heard so much that it brings you closer to the groups and stuff like that, but it's me not. I don't know. I feel like the people that gift a lot, they have a very strong connection and they stick around with one group.
Yeah.
Right.
And I feel with me doing research on multiple groups, I don't know. I feel like I'm bringing different energies in the areas, and I don't want to. I've had some pretty bad experiences just trying things like, oh, well, what if I do that? And they did not like it.
Oh, yeah.
uh-oh.
They did not like it.
But please don't piss them off.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about the picture before with the one that's exposed. Like he's not trying to hide himself at all or camouflage himself at all, and he shows his teeth at me, and that's exactly the reason why. Because if they don't a lot of these groups, you gotta treat these. I treat them like people. You don't know what group is going to do what, because I've had different experiences with groups where some of them you won't never even get a picture of them, you won't never hear them or nothing like that, but you'll find their structures, you'll find their tracks, but they will not let you see them. But then I've had other groups where they don't care if you see them.
Yeah.
And that's the unnerving part, because you don't know, just like people, you don't know what you're walking into. They could be bad mood one day because they stubbed their foot on palmetto or something like that, or got you don't know, you know what I mean? You don't never know what mood they're going to be in. So storming in, like I said, storming in the areas, it's not a safe thing to do.
No, I can imagine, man.
Here's another picture.
Oh, that's an interesting tree structure.
Isn't it? You can tell that's been laid out.
Honestly, I'm gonna say I was kind of iffy about that one right there. I was kind of iffy about that one, but the only real reason I really paid any mind to it is because just around that area there was at least 10 to 12 structures within a 20-yard radius.
Oh, wow.
For some reason, just that spot right there, they were loving that spot. Not sure what the structures meant and stuff like that, but that place right there is where I actually found that bottle.
Oh, wow.
Yep, so the path in there, there's no actual trail getting into that place where I find those tracks right there.
And that goes up a lot higher than it looks.
Yes. Oh yeah, that place in there is typically.
I mean, if you study it, you can see it way up.
Yeah, that place it's more of like a tropical kind of area, just because of how dense it is, and it goes along the Mayaca River down here.
I thought about that, Christy. What if that was their way of trying to talk to us? Hey, have you ever seen a track like this?
No. So like those toes right there is what I've seen that a couple times. Like that's how the 3-toed tracks I find look.
Huh.
Skunk ape. That's a skunk ape.
That kind of looks like down, like, where was that taken from?
Florida.
That kind of reminds me of like tracks that they find down towards like the Everglades.
Exactly. That's exactly right, Jesse. Towards the Everglades.
I've seen
near Ocala, Everglades. Yeah. Those skunk ape, they've always, since the 70s, they've been dominant in that area.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another one.
So that track right there, that one threw me off. That one threw me off just because of how narrow it is.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure that too.
It's very narrow. And I've heard, I've had a couple people tell me what they think that is, and I don't know if I feel comfortable saying what they told me, but it's that track right there was very odd, and that's in the same area where that bottle was found, and that track that you just showed that had the water in it, that's from the same area.
Okay.
And this
look at that one, it's perfect.
Wow. That one right there was part of the trackway that I had mentioned that I had found previously with the guy that I go with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a part of that trackway, and that trackway was probably the best ones that I've ever found. It was close to a 200-yard trackway.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, there was two individuals on that one, and we followed their tracks for a good about 100 yards.
Oh, wow.
And it came to where it looked like maybe like a forestry truck or something like that.
Check that one out.
Yeah, that one right there is
a good one too.
Where I found that 31-inch track. That one right there is close to, I want to say that one was closer to 15.
That's awesome.
Probably a teenager then.
I mean, you would think so.
And that other picture you showed, dude, the skinny one, I think that might even be a female.
So
it's like women's feet are smaller than men's feet most of the time.
So there's
I'll put the banner up.
So there's
just say, yeah, just say.
So I've found like the difference between like the male tracks and the female tracks. The female tracks are a little bit more narrower, but they don't look no more different than like a normal human footprint. That's how narrow they stay. But the male tracks, they're very, very flat-footed. Like they wear Crocs all day.
Or it could have been the creature had a deformity or something.
So somebody, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Somebody told me that this is going way out of the way. Could be what people call reptilians. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
Yes, we have actually.
Oh yeah.
But
I've seen one.
I've heard that. It just got brought to my attention recently because we did. I did go on a little expedition just recently to where they said that they caught on their thermal the grays, the aliens that they call like the grays.
Yes.
With the Sasquatch. Like you could see there was at least like two what looked like into one was like a juvenile and the one was a little bit bigger than the juvenile. You could see them tucked back in a palmetto head, and he's sitting there and he's filming them, and then as he kind of pans to the left a little bit, and there's this thing that looks, I don't know how it looks like an alien. Mm-hmm. I've never seen anything like it, but he goes, that's what they call the grays. And I'm like, we were standing right there. Mm. You're telling me that like these they live amongst each other? He goes, yes. You ever think you've seen UFO activity over like your research areas? And I said, I've seen it quite a bit, you know?
Yeah.
He goes, well, the theories that I've got on it that I've heard is that they abduct members of the Sasquatch group and use them as slaves. I guess you got to be more. I really don't know what you would have to be to honestly to be that far in depth with it, but I've never gotten that. Yeah. Thinking wise, I've never thought in that, but I've heard it from so many people, and I've seen some pretty bizarre evidence of these claims. Like for instance, one lady, she has, it looks like what seems to be like a crop circle in the middle of the swamp in an area that there's no access to. But nothing around it is damaged, but it looks like a crop circle. It's very weird.
Wow.
But I've heard some pretty bizarre thoughts, and somebody was telling me that track being skinny like that could be either from the grays or either from what they call the reptilians. And because that's the first time and only time that I've seen a track like that.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Interesting.
But we've heard a lot about, the reptilians.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the grays being in conjunction with Bigfoot.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard a whole lot. It's been within the past 2 or 3 months that I just got introduced to that side of it.
Welcome to our world, brother.
Yeah, we're trying to figure all this out.
The hole's getting deeper. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it gets deeper and deeper all the time.
Yes, it does. And I learn that every single time.
I would like to do more with studying crop circles and what they could be, because there's a way it can be faked, and then there's a way that there's no way. I'd love to know
Yeah,
more about that.
that's why I've always like I've seen UFO activity over Mayaca State Forest and just the whole Mayaca Woods in general. I've seen some pretty bizarre activity over them, but I've never seen anything in the areas that I go to that would say UFO activity or anything like that. But like I said, I've seen people's research that they have evidence of these claims, but I personally have never seen them firsthand.
Dude, if you ever do, catch that on film if you can.
Man, I've got a
Yeah.
couple videos of what I believe to be UFOs over the woods that I go to. I got a couple videos of that. A lot of people would say drones, but who's flying the drones out here in the just middle of the wood, like nowhere?
No.
You know?
Well, me, Lee, and Matt, her husband, were when the Aurora Borealis came to the south. Was it last year or the year before last? We were getting UFOs to move on command for us.
Really?
It's like, can you move left?
Crazy.
And if they would move left, can you move right? They would move right. They go up and down. And later that night, we were at Lee's house. Her husband, Matt, had already went to bed, and we're sitting there talking about all the stuff we saw. And we had these three beings come through her ceiling like a hologram. And there were what I would call like what's the word for them? Palladians.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I've
That was
heard
crazy.
that before.
They look like Nordic people.
Right.
Yes, they
blonde
did.
hair, the real human looking face, but they had like long arms and long fingers. From what I could see of them, what me and Lee could see of them, and dude, it was amazing that they thought enough of us to show themselves to us.
Yes, it was pretty
That's
intense.
wild.
I just was like, oh my God, just kind
Yeah.
of laid back
Hitting
here.
each other like, Lee, look what? She kept hitting me back going, are you seeing this? I'm like, I'm seeing this.
So what happened? Like they just go away, or
Dude, they sit there. I guess they were there about maybe 3-4 minutes, Lee.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Telepathic communication with us and said, we came to
Yes.
you because we liked your energy and you interacted with us. And it
Well,
was so cool.
wow.
I have a friend that he and his father had studied alien communication and types of, UFOs and things, and he had said that you can communicate with them like this. Well, we're watching it, and these things are up there doing all kinds of crazy movements, and they were about 6 or so, maybe between 4
Yeah.
and 6, and they were zipping around and stopping and backing up and doing weird stuff. And I said, well, I guess we're seeing the real deal. And I said, well, I'm going to try it. So I did exactly what he told me to do, and then it would move based off the answer, the questions and stuff. And I thought, well, that was cool. And we were headed back to the house. So I'll have to call my friend and tell him. About that time, boom, here they are. I was like, oh shit. It was
And
crazy.
Jessica, I can tell you it was not aircraft because Matt is an aircraft mechanic for helicopters. Right. I worked around aircraft for 40 something years now. I have an app that I can go on my phone. I ain't gonna say how I got the app or where the app is, but I can check every satellite and every aircraft, military or civilian. And there was no aircraft, no satellites, no nothing in the air, no helicopters, no nothing.
They both were trying really hard to check it. And then we had people in Florida watching the same thing saying, are you seeing this?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
We were out there watching it together. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's awesome. There's a guy that I work with that he's in the UFOs and stuff like that. He was telling me there's a guy that goes toward like the Sarasota area, like Inglewood Beach, Venice Beach, stuff like that, and he actually brings people out in a group to communicate with these things, with the
Yeah.
UFOs.
He must be a part of CE5, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Or about bizarre groups.
I'll have to get with them on that. But
I guarantee you that's what he is. If he's taking them out into groups to talk to aliens, he's part of CE5. Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Okay.
We have a good friend of ours.
Right.
Who's a member of that group.
Yeah, he's got he's got tons of followers on YouTube. He does a lot of videos on YouTube about it.
Yeah.
He's got tons of followers. There's tons of people watching that stuff, and I've watched a few videos on like his theories and a couple of videos of his interactions, and it's not any type of, it's not planes, nothing. It's just acting with intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
There's way too much intelligence for it to be any type of human flown aircraft. You know what I mean?
I can tell you about most pilots I know, helicopter and planes, they don't give a rat's ass about you on the ground. They want to get to their destination and see what's in front of them. They don't care what's on the ground.
Especially being out over the ocean, you know what I mean?
Pretty special. Yeah.
That's I've seen it a couple of times where for instance, over one of my main research areas, my favorite time to go out is during any type of weather change.
Mm-hmm.
Like right before a big rain coming in, or even during a rain or big thunderstorms or anything like that. And I went out one evening and we had it was a heat lightning storm that was coming over the top of the woods. And I went out there and to take my son out there to go shine for alligators along the edge of those woods. And you seen like the lightning and stuff like that behind the clouds. And all of a sudden you seen these two lights that look like spotlights. They came right out of the clouds. They came right down together, and then one went to the left and one went to the right, and they stayed in the same position. And then they kept flying up to like making a triangle shape, and then they would go back down to that same position. And then one shot straight up in the sky, and the other one followed it, and then they came straight back to that same position again.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I was sitting in the middle of the road, like stopped. I didn't even look to see if I was stopping safely or not. I was just like, what the hell am I watching right now? You know, when I had stopped, I was in both lanes on the road. Like, thank God there wasn't no cars coming, but I would be real. But it blew my mind because it wasn't planes. It wasn't planes, helicopters, nothing like that. They were moving in directions at speeds, and they were moving together. That's what threw me off. It made me realize that I wasn't watching something ordinary.
Yeah. Dude, I couldn't tell you how many pilots I've seen come out of airplanes. And before they go to debrief, they'll come over to us like, dude, y'all ain't gonna believe what the shit we just saw. Dude, I've heard probably 150 of them over the 26-year career I had. Talk about, they call them Foo Fighters.
Really?
That they would do stuff that they're playing, and a lot of them were jet pilots, like fighter pilots. A lot of them were cargo pilots. I call them the bigs and the heavies. The bigger ones are like your C5s and C17s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've had several crews coming off the plane talking about, did y'all see that? What the hell was that? And so I'm curious. I'm going to ask, what'd y'all see?
Right.
and they give us a quick briefing of it, but they'd have to go get debriefed before they could say anything else because special operations would come out there. You'd have the spooks from the CIA, the FBI, the CSNBC, all that shit there, dude.
Oh, I bet. I did have, I had a friend of mine. Well, we're not really friends no more. Money kind of took over him. But when he started out, he had got his pilot license and he was starting out and he was flying small planes, stuff like that. And, it was probably a good 4 or 5 years ago that he had told me this, that I had spoken to him. But he was telling me he saw that I was all into Bigfoot and stuff like that. And he was telling me that he was flying a private jet from Tampa to Louisiana or somewhere over around New Orleans, something like that. And there was one point on his flight that he said that they're way the hell up there. And at one point in his flight, he got a detection that he was 50 feet from the ground.
Oh, yeah. I've heard a lot of that from pilots.
And they're like, what the hell? Like, stuff's going off on they're like, you about to crash? And they're like, we're way up here. No, we're not.
Oh, wow.
And that
I am not believing this. We
actually
we
kind
are
of.
past our time, y'all.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Well, real
Yeah.
quick, I got to bring up two things. We're big supporters of veterans.
Okay.
And I want to tell any veteran and any other person, if you're having thoughts of committing suicide, call somebody or dial 988.
100%.
100%. Call somebody. You can call myself, Lee, Gwen. I'm sure, Jesse, you wouldn't mind talking to somebody if they wanted
We'll
to.
talk to you all
Yeah.
night.
Oh,
Yeah, I will too. I'll lose sleep to make sure that they're better.
yeah. I've actually got a couple buddies that have bad PTSD and stuff like that from Afghanistan.
Been there, done that. Got it myself.
Yeah. It's not fun. It's
Nope.
pretty scary to see them when they get into their moments that they have. It's very scary for them.
Dude, it is
Very
funny because you get tunnel vision and you flash back to every bad thing you ever saw.
Yeah.
And one of the things that worked for me is I'll hear my wife's voice in my head go, breathe, Blaine, breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Ash.
Thank you, Ash.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Chris.
Christy.
Thank you, Christy.
But yeah, I want to bring that up every show. Please call somebody, call that number. And if you don't want to talk directly, they have a chat. You can go in the chat with them. But call somebody, call a family member, call a friend, and just let them talk.
Most
And
definitely.
just calm them down. And the last thing I want to say is you guys had 1,000 choices of what you chose for entertainment tonight. You chose us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys reaching out to me.
Yeah, we really enjoyed having you. You're a
Mhm.
really nice person. I think that we've had lots of people really enjoy the show. So we'd love to have you back again. If you find out some new information, you get some new evidence you want to share.
Yeah, dude,
You know,
just keep sending me stuff and Lee and Gwen, stuff you're capturing. Send it to us, dude.
absolutely.
And I did send the link to you
Okay.
for this show. It's in your messenger. All you got to do is you can share it to Facebook. You can share it to your YouTube, whatever you want to.
Thank you, Casey. Yes, he is a wealth of knowledge. You're
Yeah, he
right.
was really awesome. Well, guys,
Well,
till next week, till we see y'all Monday, I'll see you two in 2 days.
Yeah.
yes, here it is. There it is.
We're going to
May
our
the 2nd,
powwow.
which is this
Yeah, that's awesome.
Saturday. This Saturday, 9:30 to 5:30. And we've got everything out on social about, the timing of the event, what we're going to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be luck of the draw. We've got door prizes that you will love. Also, I made this one for you, Blaine. You had a million things to watch tonight.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
for
like
being with
That's awesome.
us.
Yeah, and if you come to the
Thank you,
powwow,
thank
you'll
you,
get to
Jesse.
see us. Yeah, tell them we'll
Yeah.
get to
Yes.
see us.
Please do. Let me throw it back up one more time. All right. So it's at the Haygood Mill in Pickens, South Carolina. It's a small powwow, but we are a state recognized tribe. We are holding a dance in honor of our missing, murdered Indigenous people, the memory of the youngest person that was abducted was 8 months, I think, and the oldest was 84 so far.
It's a shame.
So
It's
continue.
dastardly.
Also, Miss Gwen is going to be seen at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, the New Orleans Paranormal Conference, Deep South Paracomicon, and MassCon, along
And
with Mr. Blaine.
wait a minute, hold on. Let me say one thing. I will
Oh,
be
let's
in
get it
Wisconsin.
back.
Yep, I will be in Wisconsin at the Bearded Brothers Brawl, June the 6th, I think it is. So if you live there, come out. It is to benefit veterans. Also,
Yes, it is.
Heck yeah.
Mr. Blaine, there's your poster, and we'll be adding to it as we go along.
Yes.
He's got a lot of things going on. This is all of us. The class is starting soon. It's an online class, and May 6th is when it starts. We'll be discussing unknown creatures, UFOs, and spirits, mysterious interconnection. Heavy on that because I've got a couple of theories that we're going to discuss. My husband and I, Gwen and Blaine, will be teaching this online class. If you're interested, please reach out to one of us and I will send you the
Please.
link. It is on Eventbrite. All right.
Oh,
I'm
thank
through
you.
now.
Christy says she
Shameless
shared.
plugs.
Thank you, Christy.
Thank you. Thank you so
All right.
much.
You guys have a good rest of your night.
You too.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Bye.